Happy Monday here on Steampunk Unicorn Studio channel, my channel. I'm Kat Kruger. My pronouns are she, her, and I am going to be starting a new solo RPG. We just wrapped up Delivered by my good friend Kate Friedigman, and we're moving on to something that I've been wanting to play for a while. It is Thousand-Year-Old Vampire. Um, However, those of you who know me know, even though I do a lot of cozy storytelling, I also do a lot of gothic horror. It is particularly in my narrative game design, and I am going to play this more in the vein of what we do in the shadows, simply because the game the game is meant to sort of push you, um, because it's about being undead and living this life eternal. So there are a lot of dark themes in it, but I don't want to push too hard for the stream. That's just personal choice. So I decided I'm also a really big fan of What We Do in the Shadows, and I just finished binge watching the most recent season. So I'm going to be doing uh, playing this more in that vein. So there are going to be dark moments, but also humorous moments. And if you're not familiar with the game, I have it. I have a physical copy, and I've also put it in my. I purchased the PDF as well. It is a really very cool design because it feels like an actual old book or journal. It's got a bunch of ephemera in here. I'm just going to show some of the pages here. Let's see. And today, however, we're going to be doing character creation for my vampire. Um, so, like I said, I've got the physical copy here that I'll be referring to. Oh, all right. Hi, Andy. Thanks for making it past the ads. So I'm just saying that I'm going to be playing a thousand-year-old vampire, as you know, and I have both the physical copy and the PDF, and I also have my Goodreads journal, uh, Good Notes journal that I've been using for my RPGs. Um, this is just a really very cool design, very inspired by the design of this game because it feels authentically like somebody's journal. Um, and as I was saying through the ads, I am going to play this as What We Do in the Shadows type of vampire. And so it's not going to be pushing as hard or as dark as the game is possibly intended to be played. um, so yeah, today is just going to be character creation. It could, I don't think it's going to take the full 2 hours. So it will be probably a shorter stream. However, it is a fair bit more involved than some of the other character creations that I've done in the past. So who knows? It might take that long. I also have some really fun dice because it does call. So it says you will need a 10-sided die and a 6-sided die, and it's gonna be real hard to see this on camera here, but there's actually tiny little skulls in these ones that I picked out. There we go. You might be able to see it in this one. There's also so I just thought it would be cool to have, this one's harder to see where the skull face is. Like right here. So I thought these would be really fun to play with for my character. What else is needed to play? Let's see. You'll also need a way to record your vampire story. So paper and pencil is fine, though it's very convenient to use a word processing document or other digital text tool. So I will be using um, Good Notes journal because I have found that to be really handy, and also I can post it on Patreon after. Um, there's also like an appendix with a bunch of random tables and such. So I'll just need something to randomize that list. And what else is here? There's also a note here. It's basically a content warning. So as I said, I am going to be playing this more as a what we do in the shadows type of vampire. And I have a note here that there's an ad going on. So I'm going to pause for a second here. Okay. All right. So one of the things I want to say is that there is a content warning. Um, Clearly, there's going to be some dark themes. However, the way that I am playing it, it's going to be, if any of you are familiar with the work that I've done on D20 Dames, the first season, the Good Fortune campaign, um, it was sort of PG-13, and that's generally how my games go. So if there's going to be anything um, gruesome happening, I'm not going to go into a ton of detail there. Um, I'm also going to probably veer away from sexual content simply because this is my channel and that's basically the vibe of my channel. So it's going to be humorous. It's going to be, but it's going to definitely have moments of gravitas and seriousness because it's dealing with, you know, being undead and probably, losing a lot of um, people who you're close to, who the character is close to. So here we go. Silly and dark and silly. Good vibe. Yeah, thank you. So here we go with, I'm going to read some of the entries, the instructions here so that we can go through this together. Part of, uh, Part of what I'm enjoying about doing the solo RPGs is helping as sort of a learn to play as well. So it says here with your vampire, the vampire whose chronicles you will record in this game is represented by 5 different traits. And this is where character creation comes into play here. Um, so we've got memories, skills, resources, characters, and marks. Um, and then almost every time you receive a prompt, one of your traits will be modified. Um, for instance, you may be instructed to check a skill. To do so, place a check mark next to the skill. Alternatively, the prompt may cause you to lose a trait, which is indicated by striking it out with a line. But it also says here to ensure that the lost trait stays readable because you may refer back to it later or even restore it. And some prompts will give even more dramatic instructions for changing your traits. At all times, follow the instructions given in the prompt. All right. Now, for memories and experience are important moments that have shaped your vampire. crystallized in writing. They make up the core of the vampire's self, the things they know and care about. An experience is a particular event. A memory is an arc of experiences that are tied together by subject or theme. Okay, so experiences cover a particular event, but the amount of time represented by that event may vary dramatically. An experience might describe a few seconds of impactful events, or it might cover 200 years of lurking in an old castle. Almost every prompt will create an experience, and experiences eventually combine with one another to become memories. But there's only so much your vampire can remember. To reflect this limitation, there's only a finite amount of space for memories on your record sheet. Old memories will be lost over the course of the game, making room for new ones. You will need to make difficult choices about which memories to preserve and which to forget. These hard decisions are the core of the game. Well, that's really cool. Um, in game terms, an experience is a single sentence that describes the resolution of a prompt. Memories are a collection of related experiences built up over time. Your vampire begins the game with space for 5 memories, each of which can contain up to 3 experiences. Although a prompt might ask several questions, an experience does not need to address all of them. And then in bold here it says, an experience should be a single evocative sentence. It's the distillation of an event, a single sentence that combines what happened and why it matters to your vampire. So a good format for an experience is description of the event, how I feel, or what I did about it. If necessary, you can add an M dash at the end to include more information. I love M dashes. Well, I suppose that's what the journal is for, Andy, to so that you can refer back to your memory. Okay. More information here says, be conscious of any traits affected by the prompt, such as characters and resources, um, and try to incorporate them. Write in the first person from the vampire's point of view. Definitely going to be doing that. And then memories are made up of experiences. There's some beautiful examples here. A memory contains up to 3 experiences. Vampires allowed 5 memories. So the decision about which memories are lost belongs to you as the player. It's not a decision that the vampire is consciously making. It's a good distinction there. Um, so like most of my solo games, I'll be going, in and out of character. So, you know, asking for chat, input, and then writing in the journal, and then reading in the voice of the vampire. Um, there's one way to preserve memories when you run out of space. Instead of losing an existing memory, you can move it into a diary. Okay. Okay. So a diary can hold up to 4 of your vampire's memories. Unlike memories themselves, diaries are physical objects that are added to your resource list. You may freely create a diary whenever you need to move a memory into it. Like any other resource, a diary can be lost. When this happens, strike out the memories it held. Your vampire can have 1 diary at a time, and it must contain at least 1 memory. Oh, interesting. So a memory placed in the diary is no longer in the vampire's head. It exists only in the diary, and the vampire accepts whatever is written as truth. Once a memory has been transferred to a diary, you may not add any further experiences to that memory. To move a memory to your diary, simply indicate that the memory is now written in the diary. For example, you might write diary next to the memory or connect it to the diary icon on the character sheet with a drawn arrow. And then it also says, when you create a diary, give it a short description and add it to the resource list. So examples are diary, a sturdy leather-bound book, or a collection of pictogram adorned pots, a gold filigree signs bordering a frightening ritual mask, a password-protected forum on an archaic website. That's amazing. And then we have skills. The skills describe the capabilities and characteristics of your vampire. They indicate what your vampire can do and what they might do. So it's things like swordplay, um, relaxing banter, operate heavy machinery. Um, they're all acceptable skills. And then some prompts will instruct you to check a skill. To do this, place a check mark next to it. Mechanically, this indicates that the skill has been used. Narratively, a check skill gives you something to flavor your answer to later prompts. Okay. If unchecked, skills are what your vampire is capable of. Checked skills are what they have done. They are part of your vampire's being. They are who the vampire is. And it also notes here that it is entirely possible that your vampire might have skills that you do not want to check. Um, Instead of fighting this, revel in the plight of your humane vampire when they go to help a friend out of a bureaucratic jam and find that the only skill they can check is rage and kill. Oh my gosh. Um, you may only check a, a skill once. If you are instructed to lose a skill, strike it out. It is gone and no longer influences the way your vampire moves through the world. I think finally, oh no, we've got resources. They're assets or structures that are useful to your vampire or items that they value. Um, the examples here are like knight's equipment, diamond tiara, business empire, lucky penny. There's a whole wide range of examples here, from very mundane to um, rather large, like a Roman legion. Um, in the prompts, there will occasionally be references made to stationary resources. These are possessions that cannot be physically hauled away with the vampire when they leave the area. Oh, okay. So example is like a haunted cave or an elephant-sized statue, things like that. Um, when a prompt instructs you to create resources, be sure to create resources that are contextually appropriate, even if it leads to resources that aren't necessarily the most exciting or most useful. And again, if you lose a resource, you strike it out. Leave it legible because things might come back in time. That's cool. Um, let your available resources flavor how you write your experiences. Let resources figure prominently when you are made to strike them out. Don't just lose your mansion, but burn it to the ground, or at least describe a fierce legal battle over the deed. Okay, don't limit your vampire's stuff to the resources listed on the record sheet when answering prompts. Of course, you have, like, if you have a rich Flemish vampire, they'll have a fencing foil available if needed, that sort of thing. Just don't write them down. And I think, oh no, there's two more things here, characters and then marks. So characters are the people with whom your vampire has a relationship. Each character should be named and described in a sentence fragment, such as name a person, uh, meddlesome nun, that sort of thing. Um, A character can be mortal or immortal. You will be told which type when you are instructed to create a new character. Mortals are regular humans or other creatures that die with the passage of time. Immortals, on the other hand, are supernatural beings for whom time has little meaning. Um, and then occasionally you will realize that a mortal must have died of old age. This might happen every 4 or 5 prompts. When it does, strike out the character's name. Outside of this, characters cannot be killed unless a prompt tells you to do so, but you can otherwise narrate about them as you would like. And then I think the final thing is marks. So a mark is a visible indication of your vampire's undying state or any other thing that sets them apart from mortal people. Um, we have some fun examples here. A pair of giant bat wings, um, hypnotic eyes, dark halo. Um, Under the moon, my shadow takes the shape of a jaguar. Um, so I think it's things that you might need to, you either, um, I think it says here, you when creating a mark, consider whether your vampire conceals it and how. All right, so we are in, um, I just realized I did not change my, the name of my stream here. Just a moment here. All right, let's see. Vampire creation. So I'm gonna actually write in here in chat. So this game has been was designed by Tim Hutchings, and there is a link to the uh, to the book on DriveThru RPG there. Just 1 second here. Just realized that I need to make some changes on my Twitch channel here. Okay. So I'm gonna switch over to my my journal here. And you're gonna see a page from the digital version here. I also have a journal page ready to go. So this is where I'll be asking for more help with from chat here. So I think one of our regular viewers here, Jane the Geek, has is not able to join today, but provided a whole bunch of fun names for characters. So when we get to that, I will share some of those. So it says here to start by imagining a person in the distant past. This person will become your vampire. Imagine when and where they were born and who they were in life. Then we start a memory with one experience that captures their history. I know, Andy, there were so many fun names. All right. Now this is the part where I'm not sure. I think I need an example here. Play examples. Trying to figure out how to capture experiences within memories. Because what I have in the book here just shows memories. Okay. So I'm just gonna show this example here. So we have memories over here, and then we've got skills, resources, characters, and marks. So I'm gonna start by going into my journal page here. And I'll start at the top of the page here with the journal of ... Then I'm going to have a whole bunch of memories here. All right, so some of the ideas I have been thinking about over the weekend are I want this character to be somewhere. Oh, hello, Jane. We were just talking about how many names you came up with, and I'm so glad you're able to join us. You are just at the part where we're actually I just went through all the like not rules, but like the 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 mechanics of the game and what we need to do to create this vampire. So really a lot of cool depth in here. Um, and so we're starting with the vampire creation. And this weekend I was sort of thinking, what I would like is for this character to be um, from the very distant past, in a region that is sort of on the border between Europe and Asia, simply because that's like my background being biracial. Um, I would like her to be maybe like from that Siberia region where um, she's both European and Asian heritage, sort of like that blend there, like right on the border. Um, I was also thinking maybe that she would be older, because I don't think I feel like there's a lot of like, I don't know, young hot vampires, and um, I just like the idea of her being an older vampire, and maybe something to do with being from a merchant family. Maybe she took over the merchant family business. Just something that maybe makes her like very middle class, I guess. So those are just some of the ideas I was throwing around. And so, Jane, the names that you've come up with have been fantastic. I think they're all, in in line with what I was thinking. Um, so let's go through some of these. So we had a whole bunch of Natalia uh, Bitten ones. Natalia Bittenson, um, and what else is there? These are also great here. Anastasia Lestat, Katarina Strigoi, Inessa Strix, Mila Lugosi is the one that really stuck out to me, and then Julia Grendel. Um, I do really like Mila Lugosi. uh, yeah, Mila Lugosi. Okay, let's do that. How are we feeling about unlined paper? I was trying to make it look more like a old time journal. I agree, Jane. I feel like these first time you've been called that. No, it's true though. You just come up with these great names, and even like I love how you just like you're so willing to just throw names out there, um, and just keep rolling with it because like even when I feel like it's so easy to get hung up on coming up with the right one at the start and not being willing to come up with silly things or things that might not, you know, once you say them or write them out might not be the best. I think that's a good sign of creativity. All right. So yeah, I the ideas that I have here, this person, so it says, for an example here, start a memory with one experience that encapsulates their history. Okay. Um, for instance, the example says, "I am Henri, son of Jean, born near the Loire Valley in 13th century of our Lord. Um, I am a poor knight swindled out of my inheritance." All right, so it feels like this is a memory of just like life before they became a vampire. So I think with Mila, um, we'll say I am Mila Lugosi. Maybe she, um, I'm wondering if she ever married this older woman, or maybe she's defied convention and just as a businesswoman, a merchant who took over her father's business or something. I do like that, her business probably changes all the time. Um, a merchant who never married, do I need to add anything else to that? This first experience is a little different than most experiences in that it's a broad summary of the vampire's life before becoming an undead thing. This experience will be slotted into the character record's first memory. Okay, next, create at least 3 mortals and add them to the vampire's record sheet. These mortals will have a relationship with your vampire, relatives, friends, and lovers, enemies, mentors, debtors, or anything else appropriate for the time and place you have chosen. Describe each character in a few words. Oh, I guess we have to find a time period too, which um, I saw in this book. It's fun because it encourages you to go do some research um, into history. I feel like 13th century is probably good. It's like around the time of Marco Polo and that. What was Siberia at that point? Early history of Siberia was greatly influenced by the sophisticated nomadic civilizations of the Scythians on the west of the Ural Mountains and uh, Zhongnu in the east of the Urals, both flourishing before the Common Era. So did it have a name for them? um, Cyber. Sibir. I'm just gonna write that, I think. All right. I am Mila Lugosi, a merchant who never married. Born in 13th century. Cyber. All right. Next, gonna add a page here. We have skills. Resources. Characters. And marks. Just a bit more room. Okay. Focused on business instead of romance, yeah. All right, so now we need to create at least three mortals. I feel, yeah, Auntie, I feel like she didn't want to get married. I think she didn't want to cede any of her control of her life or business um, to a man. So I think that was what her deal was, and I think yeah, she's probably considered a spinster, even though she's like, I don't know, like late 30s, I'm thinking, or 40 something. Yeah, like I think in our time, modern time, not considered very old, but maybe for that time period a little bit older. Um, Maybe even older. I'm not sure yet. Um, I think it'll depend on who these other characters are that are in her life. Kind of thinking maybe her dad is still. uh, yeah, I don't. Whatever time period where spinster was actually used, it was, yeah, at a very very young age. Um, I feel like maybe her dad is still alive though, at this point. So maybe she's 40 and her dad is like 60, but she's essentially taken over the business. So we need to come up with a name for Mr. Lugosi. I'll go look up the name meanings here. Nikolai. Nikolai's a good one. Nikolai Lugosi. That sounds good. And then what do I have to do here? I need to write describe each character in a few words. Know that these characters can and should be very important, but will not be around for long. Um, Nikolai, Lugosi, father. I think maybe a competitor as well, like another merchant in the village. I'm thinking maybe Alton. Alton the something. Maybe something that has like a double meaning. Go into handy thesaurus and support pompous. Yeah, for the competitor, Alton. I just saw. I was looking, went into thesaurus and was trying to find something like pompous, but I found rash. And I'm feeling like it's Alton the rash, and he thinks it's because it's a positive because making rash decisions is what got him so far. But I feel like he also has like behind the scenes people call him Alton the rash because he's constantly got these rashes. Competitor, and then we need one more. Um, yeah, questionable rashes to be clear. All right, one more person. um, it wouldn't be what we do in the shadows inspired unless there was something like that, right? Um, I feel like the third person might be somebody like a healer or somebody in the village um, who's maybe like another older woman who um, who just has a lot of value as you know as a healer, as maybe like a sage, um, that sort of thing. Yeah, yeah, White Witch or Hedge Witch, somebody like that. Um, Um, looking for some words here that mean grandmother. Babushka. Maybe like babushka something. Let's see. Baba something. Maybe something like Baba Yaga. Drawing a blank here. Mama Yaga. Grandmother in another language, maybe. Emmy? Okay, I'm thinking Emmy something. Emmy. Go back to name meaning. Let's see. So I've got Emmy in here is like a Mongolian word for grandmother. Although I kind of like babushka too. Maybe let's find. Do we have Russian here somewhere? Um, what about? Oh, that's cool. What about we shorten babushka to babu, and then Stasia, like Anastasia, Babu Stasia. I feel like I'm taking too much time with this name, but these are important people. Um, I'm gonna put Babu Stasia. What are we calling? And I think think she's gonna have a cat with one of those names like Elixir. Um, calling her Sage, and then Invictus Sage's cat. There we go. Now we have 4 characters. All right. Now, give your vampire-to-be 3 skills fitting their lot in life and 3 resources they obtained while still mortal. Remember, resources can be almost anything, big or small. A resource is a resource whether it's an obsidian knife or a fleet of warships. Okay. Well, I feel like she probably has a merchant wagon or caravan wagon. The scales for weighing things. Fleet of airships. Yeah, I guess I'll just call them merchant scales. Okay, and then one more. I'm kind of torn between it being something simple like an evil eye, um, like necklace or amulet, or a weapon, like a small dagger. Oh, Jane, for the win here. Yes, evil eye on the dagger. I'm going to call it an evil eye dagger. I love that. Now I want one. Yeah, exactly. uh, gosh, now I want a tattoo of that actually. All right. Our 3 items. Hmm. All right. You know what? I think this might actually take us almost the full 2 hours. So I'm going to take a quick break because we're going to come back and what do we have here? We've got skills and experiences, and then we have to create the immortal. So we have to come up with the experience of becoming undead. Um, so I'm going to take a quick, like 5-minute bio break, and then I'll be back to finish creation here, character creation of Mila Lugosi. All right, I'll be back shortly. All right, I am back, and we are in the midst of creating a vampire inspired by What We Do in the Shadows for um, a playthrough of Thousand Year Old Vampire. So far, we have created Mila Lugosi, who is a merchant who never married, born in 13th century Siberia. Um, Looked up some quick history, and some of this is probably not going to be super accurate, but taking inspiration from um, What We Do in the Shadows, some of this is just going to be you know, just for funsies anyway. What we've added here is we've already gone through characters that she's known in life, including Nikolai Lugosi, her father, Alton the Rash, a competitor, Babu Stasia, a sage, and Invictus, the sage's cat. And we also gave 3 resources to Mila, a caravan wagon, merchant scales, and a dagger that has an evil eye on it. One thing I forgot to do was need to give Mila 3 skills. So let's go back to the journal here. I also very quickly, as I was on break here, uh, moved things around so that we would have more room to play around with. So skills, it says here, give your vampire to be 3 skills fitting their lot in life, and then we also did the resources. Um, So I'm going to go back here just to take a quick review of the skills here. It's the capabilities and characteristics of your vampire. They indicate what your vampire can do and what they might do. I feel like um, Mila probably has a very she's in order to succeed as a merchant, I feel like she's got to have some sort of like strong uh, charisma ability. So maybe it's um, bargaining, um, bargaining skills, bartering skills, very persuasive. Yeah, um, persuasive bartering maybe. Um, persuasive. And because um, she's single and probably the primary caregiver for her. I mean, he's not elderly, but he's um, an older man. Her father. I like to think though that her father um, has sort of raised her to be very independent. So maybe not necessarily relying on her for a lot of things. They work together. Um, I don't know. I don't really. Um, I haven't watched a lot of Critical Roles, so I don't know what Laura Bailey's or she also does voice acting, so I don't know um, what that reference is. Now I have to look it up. Oh, was that from the first for their first campaign? I only listened to the second campaign and didn't make it that far. Okay, yeah, definitely in that vein. So we need two more skills. I think there has to be something to do with being self-sufficient, like um, um, the examples that we have from the book here are so they had gentle butcher, beer making hill wanderer. Um, I feel like cooking is just too basic. I think it has to be a little bit more, um, but I also don't feel like she's necessarily like you know, Girl Scout level of being able to survive. I Because she's a merchant, I feel like there's a little bit of coziness involved here, but they probably, you know, cook for themselves. Maybe it's like uh, horse riding because they would need horses for the wagon. So um, sous chef. Yeah, it has the two S's. Horse handling, I guess, is one of them. um, I don't know, uh, maybe it's just like being able to um, cook anything and make it taste okay. Uh, Cookery, is that? I think that's a word. Feels like a UK word though. Oh, dagger skills might be better. Yeah, I think you're right. Because she's traveling as a merchant. Um, how about this? Knife skills, because that applies to both kitchen and stabbing. Oops, what happened there? Nothing wrong with the UK word. I just don't think cookery is something that is used in North America. I think I picked it up from probably BBC. All right. What else do we have here? So we have three skills, three resources, create three more experiences with one experience each being entered into a separate memory. Each of these experiences should combine two of your vampire's traits. Wait, I think I missed something here. What traits? Okay, so I think, oh, 5 different traits. So it's memory, skills, resources, characters, marks. So the traits in general, I have to incorporate into the memories. Okay. Oops. Um, all right. So I'm going to read an example here so that we can um, look at what we can do. Okay, so for example, in the appendix, there are, some named characters. Um, there's skills like gentle butcher, beer making, hill wanderer, the resources for this character, ornate walking staff, large flock of sheep, and sack of silver coins. And then in the example, these traits have been combined to create 3 new memories, each containing 1 experience. So memory 1 is all day Mother Rosa sits quietly by the beer vat. She says it sings sweet songs to her, and she carves what she hears onto a magnificent ash walking stick. Um, Peter was orphaned during a bandit raid. I hold his family's silver coin until he comes of age. In the meantime, he works with the sheep. Hania complains when I walk my sheep through the stream, but she never says no to the mutton I gift her. Okay. Um, so I think the evil eye dagger is a gift from Baba Stasha. Baba Stasha, and then I think the caravan wagon will relate it to her dad, and then the merchant scales. I I think she might use something here, persuasiveness against Alton. Maybe she proves that he's lie. Yeah, same wavelength exactly. I think maybe the with Alton, maybe she realizes that his scales are weighted or something. Um, all right. So first memory is, what does she call her dad? Papa. Let's um, going into Google Translate here because I see another word that I could use. Nana. Papa. Yeah, I think Papa is probably best. So I'll write in the journal here. All right. Um, so I've written something about Papa here. Now I need to write something about Babu Stasha. Actually, no, I'm going to write something about Alton the Rash first. And then one more for Babu, and then I'll read these out. All right, here we go. I'm gonna have to practice my Russian accent now. All right. Probably gonna have to practice over the break because I can't. I am Mila Lugosi, a merchant who never married, born in 13th century Sibir. Papa sweeps the horse stalls in the mornings as I tend to horses. He sighs and tells me same joke about way with these animals. Though I was loath to do it, Alton Darash had supplies I needed. When we compared scales, I noted his was weighted and persuaded him not to cheat me. While running errands, Babu Stasha called me into her hut and gifted me with dagger that had evil eye on it, on the hilt, warning me that Alton was irate with me. All right, so killing Eve. Oh, thank you, Jane. It has been a very, very long time since I've tried to put one of those on. I think the last time was D20 Days. We did a, oh, what was it? Azorius Senate, the Ravnica adventure. Um, I had I think it was a Loxodon or something. All right, so we have the journal entries here. Oh my gosh, we still have marks. I really thought this was not going to take. Oh, thank you, Auntie. I will be practicing more during the break though, because I want to make sure that I'm getting like some of the letter combos correct. So a mark is the next thing I think. Whoops. 3 more experiences. There we go. And then lastly, create an immortal. This is the creature that gifted or cursed your vampire with unlife. Okay. Oh, okay. Hmm. Who is this immortal creature that um that does this? Do we think that Alton um I don't know if Alton is a vampire. I don't think he is, but I think maybe Maybe he hires somebody? He hears he hears that there's some sort of, like, person who can get rid of problems or something like that. Well, could be a creature, yeah. Oh, I like this idea, Jane. I'm thinking maybe one of the horses, gets, gets spooked by Alton or something, um, heads off into the forest, and then there's, like, a vampire type creature. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I think it's, I feel like maybe she Alton does something to, scare one of the horses. Or maybe he was being attacked. Hmm. Yeah, I like the idea that it's a creature. Um, so it's like a Bela Lugosi type vampire creature. I think this also appeared in What We Do in the Shadows in the movie. Um, what do we call it though? Is it just like a strigoi? Bitey McBite face. No, I don't think that will work. Although I feel like in the future, if she forgets this a memory, she might just refer refer to this creature as that. Um, um, I I feel like she still would. All right. I don't know if I want to make it so complicated that Alden is involved here. Yeah. Yeah, I was thinking the Striga type creature for sure. I just trying to figure out how we get from chasing chasing after the horse. Okay. Okay, I need to add character. Striga. Immortal. Okay, and then we have here. Yeah, basically, early er, blah. Early one morning I awoke to the horses stirring. A shadow fled, but I could not give chase, for one of the horses dashed into the forest. I followed, riding our other horse bareback, to find a striga feasting, and was myself turned. Okay, so we have been turned, and the last thing I need to do is create a mark. Um, I was kind of I don't know, like it's a striga, but also feeling like we can maybe play around with some vampire lore here. Um, Actually, I was thinking strigoi. Strigoi, either way. Um, yeah, I think it's strigoi that I was thinking. Um, I'm just gonna do a quick edit here. Um, One thing I was thinking though was maybe the mark. The mark could be, so I'll read some examples here. Um, this will be the last thing we do. Um, Marks. So yeah, there's like giant pair of giant bat wings, hypnotic eyes, dark halo. Um, so one thing from Chinese culture is there's a vampire. Vampires are jiangxi or hopping vampires, and I feel like um, maybe Mila has like a hop in her step, but she now uses like a walking stick to make it seem like she was just injured, to sort of hide the hop. Um, and I think that might be her mark. Thank you, Auntie. Okay, I don't need a whole page for this, but um, maybe there's more marks coming. I don't know. Um, so she just writes, I am cursed with stiff limbs that cause me to hop, so I used a walking staff to mask it. All right, and I think that is it. Um, Once you've finished with your vampire, they will have 3 skills, 3 resources, a mark, at least 3 mortals, 1 immortal, and 1 experience in each of their 5 memories. Well, I have 4 memories. I don't know what the fifth one's. Oh wait, no, the fifth one is the being turned. So yeah, uh, we have created a vampire. Alden Thrash and Hop, Skip, and Jump Mila. Um, Absolutely. I do feel like whatever her cane is going to have a very cool carving on the top. Um, I'll have to figure that out. Um, but yeah, 2-hour character creation. I did not expect that, but thank you so much for joining in chat. I really appreciate I appreciate you all coming in here on this Monday. I will let you know that I will be doing game design uh, lab on Wednesday, but we're going to be creating a sidekick using some of the optional rules that have come up in D&D. And we're going to do that to create a sidekick for the hero we created last week, Peridot Pero Starfell. And that is going to be for a play by post event in my Discord. That's available for patrons or anybody on who's following on Twitch or where else? If you're start playing player, I'm going to be running that on my Discord on Thursday, December 21st from 9 to 3 p.m. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Pacific. So definitely feel free to jump into that. And yeah, Game Design Lab is going to be taking um, sidekick rules and creating, I think, a ninth level sidekick. Um, but yeah, thank you so much again for joining here. I really appreciate all of your help here. I know it's only 3 days from now. And Jane, Andy came up with that beautiful name. So I'm looking forward to what we're gonna do on Wednesday. And Jane, even if you're not able to come, maybe you can come up with a sidekick name in Discord, and then hopefully you'll be able to join in the play by post that we're doing on Thursday. All right. Well, until then, I guess I'll see some of you online. Otherwise, I'll see you Wednesday or Thursday. All right. Take care.